After the floods, British Columbia picks up the pieces. With light drizzle in the air, a young woman wiped away tears as she stood on the veranda of a newly renovated gray and white house. Its toilets and other plumbing fixtures sat beside her. Most of the house's other contents were on the street in a muddy pile. 3 doors down, a chain of soldiers in green camouflage fatigues stacked sandbags atop a rock and earth dike intended to keep the Tulameen River out of modest homes on Allison Avenue. The engine noise and reverse warning beeps of a small excavator filled the air as it scraped up mud, soggy mattresses, end tables, chairs, tools, and VHS cassettes of children's cartoons. The heavy rains that caused flooding in Princeton and across southern British Columbia were the third large-scale natural disaster this part of Canada has endured in 6 months. The likely cumulative effects of climate change, according to climate experts.Record-breaking heat waves, flooding and wildfires have killed hundreds of British Columbians and have highlighted Canada's vulnerability to extreme weather. On their own, each event has caused widespread devastation, but they are perhaps even more profound, according to researchers, because they followed one another in this sequence, producing so-called compound effects. Western Canada suffered a blistering heat wave for much of the summer as record-high temperatures caused uncontrolled forest fires that burned one community to the ground. Now, the region is facing washed-out roads and highways, mud-clogged houses and destroyed bridges after nearly a foot of rain poured from a weather event known as an atmospheric river, long bands of water vapor that form over the Pacific Ocean and drift to North America every fall and winter. Forecasts of more heavy rainfall for this week have renewed flooding worries and prompted precautionary closings of highway routes that had just reopened. We have not had this number of atmospheric rivers in such a short time period hitting into the coast, said Rachel White, a professor at the University of British Columbia who studies how large-scale atmospheric patterns contribute to extreme weather. The scary possibility is that climate change is making those more likely and more frequent.